Hello, welcome to Miemie's Keepsakes. I'm Marnell. Today I have a blank page in front of me. I want to try and make a art journal page or spread on camera. I don't know how that will go and how long it will take me, but hopefully I can do this. I've started this book probably more than a year ago, and it's just a book about human figure, how to draw it. And I just what I did is I glued 2 pages together and then tore some of the pages out of the book to create a sturdy and a thick page, because with art journaling pages, a lot of times there's a lot of water involved. So I've already put some gesso on this paint, mainly to prepare the paper for the paints and the sprays and the inks, but also to just get rid of the text, and some of it's still showing through, and that's what I like. I want some of it, but I don't want to see the definite figure like in there and there. So the gesso kind of just pushes that into the background. So I will start with some sprays and water. So I have these little containers. I think they are for restaurants, or if you're having a big party, to put like condiments in. I bought it at the thrift store, and I just put, if I want to water down my spray or my inks or paint a lot, I mix it in here. So that's my gold one. I would definitely want to keep that one out, and the pink one. Okay, so we'll start with the sprays. I have this one, but I do not know how this looks, how dark this is. It's this Distress Spray Stain, a Victorian Velvet. It's not too dark, I think. That can work. And this one, oh, it's way more kind of, it's not really pink. I will try it and see. We can always cover it with gesso again. So let's start with the lighter color, and I'll add some water to the ink and then just let it run down a bit and create some pattern and texture. Sorry, it's kind of hard to I don't really want that. Okay, I am going to try this with my heat gun and then come back, so you don't have to, or maybe I'll do this, the dark pink quickly as well, and see how it goes together. Maybe a little bit in that corner, and then dry it. Maybe a small amount here and here as well. I do like this darker color. I think I will create some white. Okay, I need something to stop the ink from, oh, I don't have a wipe. What did I do? Oh, there's the wipes. Oh my goodness. I'll just wipe some of this in the, where the spine, that it was bound, just some of that up, so it doesn't get, into my spine and compromise that. Okay, let me just see if I can get more of this on screen. Okay, I think I want that to flow down a little bit more. Okay, and maybe, well, I'll fill this in with watercolor paints. I will Spread that a little bit. Where's my brush? Just want to spread this so it would flow this way. Okay, that's better. Okay, I'm gonna go dry this and then I'll come back with some watercolors. Okay, I finished my background off screen just because I thought it would, you know, be on and off the whole time. So I decided against the watercolor paints, and I just did the Distress Oxide Spray in Tattered Rose and the Distress Spray Stain in Victorian Velvet. So it looks pretty busy at the moment, but I am going to glue a lot of things on here, and that is just kind of my background. So I like to do backgrounds like this for my junk journals as well. It always looks really pretty, and once you add some flowers and details, it's very nice to do. So you just play around with the inks and water and let it flow, and if you don't like it, just add gesso on top. So maybe once I have my things glued down, I might still add gesso just to tone this down, but I will decide that later. So this week I saw so many beautiful art journal pages from the Maremi Small's challenge collageintiles. So I thought I've done it on my journaling page last week, but I thought, oh, I do want to do a art journal page as well. So I took some scrap papers and I wanted pink, so I'm just going to cut a couple of tiles to put on to add to my page. And I'll just cut that little white piece off. I'm just going to cut a couple and see where it gets me. So I want it kind of predominantly pink, and then with some book page in between. This one I have just small pieces of this, but I really like this. Maybe I'll just make really small tiles of those. Don't throw anything away. That's what gets me into trouble. My craft room is overflowing. I don't know where to move anymore. I have to start going through things and throw things away. Just does not look square, but does it really matter? Maybe, I'm not sure if that pink might be too busy. Now let's cut a couple and we might use it. And I'm just cutting them different sizes because they're gonna overlap, and you know, let's do some, I think this is Amity Bloom, I'm not sure. Once it's in the scrap box and cut up, I'm not always sure where, you know, I got the printable from, but I'm pretty sure this is one of hers. But I do not know where any of the other printables come from. I'll have to go look on my computer and find the files to see where I bought them from. Okay, let's do one more from this page. Okay, and then I think I need book pages. Just clean up a little bit, and I do have some leftover book pages from previous, from yesterday's mass make. So we'll just use those. Oh, and I'll show you in a minute. Let me just cut this down. So Marta from Maremi Small Art, she just cut tiles instead of tearing. The idea is to cut and not tear your pages, just to, you know, just for something different. We usually, most of us, I think, tear everything, and so this definitely gives a different look to your pages, and it's something different, something that, you know, we tend to keep doing the same thing over and over again. I also have this book, Western Home Plans, that I found at the thrift store, and it has home plans but it's in pink, so I thought that might be nice in the collage as well. We'll cut that up, a couple of tiles, see how that looks. I think on the back would be some pink. Yeah, so like I said, I was just, if you on the search bar say hashtag collageintiles, a lot of videos will show up, and even and on Instagram as well, of other people who made these. Most of them made journal, you know, art journal pages, but I know Tina from Shabby Dabby Doodah made a collage cards with the same idea. I made pre-decorated journaling pages with the same idea. You can do, if you're doing, don't feel, oh, I'm sorry, I hit the camera. Keep doing that. Don't feel like you have to, you know, make a art journal page if you're not into that. I am definitely not a pro at art journal pages. I actually just started last year, no, the year before, and I don't do it enough to really be good at it, but I do enjoy it. It's something different from what I'm doing every day with my junk journals, and you know, all of us needs a break from the regular, from time to time, the regular things that we do every day. So those I can cut smaller if I have to. So now I'm going to start gluing. Where's my glue stick? And I'm going to do a double spread. So I'm not going to overlap. I could overlap them because I did. I can overlap if I want to. I put some masking tape in there before I did the gesso, so it should be okay. Just make sure it's in that crease really well. Yeah, so I have been not up to much since yesterday. Tomorrow is my youngest 18th birthday, so that should be interesting. She gave us a list of what she wants for her 18th birthday, so we're all set and prepared for that. Yeah, because she's leaving for university. Oh, this glue just, I have to add more glue. Leaving for university in September. So she is obviously very excited, way more than I am, because that means I will be all alone at home. Kind of like a new era for me, with all the kids gone. Let's put the tiles on here so you can see what I'm picking from. Yeah, so time flies so fast. I don't know. It's just too fast for me. So I'll just keep going, making my collage, adding tiles, and then adding a focal point. If you haven't done a art journal page yet, go and do. I was kind of intimidated when I started because I kind of felt, you know, you have to be able to paint and be very artsy, but in fact it's just, there's no rules. You can play around, do whatever you want to, whichever way you want and like. There's nothing that says you have to do it a specific way, and that's what I like. And it's messy. Sometimes, you know, it's just nice to get messy and not know exactly what the outcome would be and just go with whatever happens. You know, like my background, I didn't know how it would look when I'm done. It was just, you know, spray water, let the ink flow where it wants, and go from there. I should get my cards. I'm just gluing off camera because I don't have enough space here. Okay, I should get my card out. Yeah, that works way better. So yeah, what have you guys been up to? Like I say, we have not done much. Over the weekend we worked in the garden, but I think I already told you that. And yeah, excuse me, that was it. Nothing exciting happening. Just the regular day-to-day things. Oh goodness, I did not cut any of this very straight. Well, she didn't say it has to be straight, so I suppose it's okay. Yeah, so maybe I'll continue to glue my tiles off camera and come back with the rest of my page. Otherwise this might become a very long video. I'll be back in a minute or so. Okay, so I do think I want to add some gesso to my page because it is very busy. I want to add this pink rose on there and it's not showing up enough, so I'm going to add some gesso to the page, and I'm just going to kind of scrape it over everything to tone everything down a bit. I put it in this little container because it's kind of difficult to, let's see if I can get it out with this. Let's just do this. It's kind of difficult to get it out of my gesso bottle. I'm just gonna even go over the tiles because it is very busy. So you can still see it, but it's not so overwhelming. Okay. Maybe I'll just put the gesso on there and then spread it. This is not working. My little container, I need bigger ones for my card to go in. Well, don't want that all my pages to be stuck together. I'll have to clean that up in a minute. Because what will happen is all the pages will stuck together once that gesso is dried. Okay, so now it is toned down a bit. You can still see the tiles and the pink, and I can keep taking some of the gesso off because, especially on the tiles, because it's not dry yet. Okay, so let's see how that looks. Just get rid of this gesso of my card because I still want to use my card. Clean it up. Okay. So it is still wet, but let's see how the, yeah, see now it shows up way better. I like that more. And I was thinking if I have the flower kind of here, and maybe I'll add some while it's wet. Let's see how that would work. I have these watercolor pencils. I bought them from Stampin' Up! Probably 12 years, and I have used them and they are still good. Like, you know, you kind of, a lot of times you think, oh, I'm not going to invest in a certain kind of tool. I'm not going to use it enough, but you end up using it. So I'm just going to make like blocks like this. Let me see what I'm doing. Almost to mimic the tile texture on the bottom, but not following the tiles totally, just to give it more texture and dimension, and maybe overlap the pages so the pages kind of connect and they're not two different entities. Let's like one here as well. Okay, let's see how that works before I overdo it. And then I'm just going in with my water brush because it's a watercolor pencil, just to soften it a bit. Maybe spread the brown a little bit. Need more water. I love these water brushes as well, or water pens. Same thing, I resisted for years buying them, and now that I have them, can't see why I didn't want to buy them, because I use them so much. I'm always afraid of buying these things and then I don't use them, but like I say, the watercolor pencils I bought, and I use a lot because I did do classes for Stampin' Up! To sell the stamps and to promote the products. It was fun, but then we moved. I didn't know anybody, so I stopped doing it. And just started crafting for myself. So let's see how that would look now. So this flower, I kind of want it here with the leaves coming up like this, stem under the leaves, and then I had the bird over here, and this little guy fell off. We can add it somewhere once it's glued on. So I think this is looking good. Just have to wait for it to dry again. And maybe while I have to dry everything, I'll add some texture paste in this corner here and here, just because it's very bare and there's nothing there. So the texture paste, where did I put it here? The texture paste I'll put in here. So this is just acrylic texture, medium texture paste. And I'm going to leave it white because I was thinking of coloring it pink, or maybe even brown, but I think I'm going to leave it white. and just add some of this with the stencil onto the page. And I don't want the entire thing, just, you know, here and there, almost like a wall with cracks in it. Just bring it down, maybe a little bit on the tiles. Oh, okay, that's not too bad. And then I'll have to leave this to dry and come back. So there'll be another pause. You won't know it. I'll be back in a couple of seconds, but I'll be busy drying this. I'll just take that one off and maybe... Okay, let's just leave that for now and not overdo it. I tend to overdo this all the time. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, I think the texture paste is dry. I did pick up some of the pink in the background, if you can see that, but that's okay. I actually wanted it really white, but you know, sometimes you have to change your plan. So I'm going to use this stamp. It's Stampers Anonymous Tim Holtz collection, and it's the Ledger Script CMS 241. And I just want to make some marks in the background, and I'll just use this small one. And I have the walnut stain here. Let's see if that's dark enough. I did bring the ground espresso, distress ink as well, but maybe this is dark enough. I don't want it too dark, but not too light either. And just some script here and there. I keep hitting the camera, I'm so sorry. So some in here. We'll just kind of put it all over, just to give the background some dimension, and the tiles. Okay, I'll clean my stamp quickly if I can find the wet wipe. I'm just gonna clean the stamp, and then I want to add some gold, and I thought I'll bring it in here and here. So I have this Van Gogh. It is a watercolor, and it says deep gold. And I'm just going to add some in here. And add some water. And what did I do with my paintbrush? Mix it in with the water. And I just want it to kind of flow. Oh, where am I going to put this? In between the, I don't know if you can see, just in between this to give it more dimension. I think I might need to add more of the paint in here. I really love this paint. It's a really nice, like a antique gold, not a bright yellow gold totally. Okay, that's better. You can see the shimmer in there. And we're just gonna move it around with the water. Patch it up where I don't want it. Okay, I'm going to take, maybe spread it that way. Okay, that side, and then this side we'll do the same. Kind of start here and move it out because it's a water paint, watercolors. It reacts to the water. I'll just flip the book this way. A little more paint. And a little bit more water. Just kind of let it flow. Okay, and then this one. Wonder if I should add just a tab here and let it flow downwards a little bit. Okay, I am going to quickly dry it. I'll just do it on camera, then I'm not stopping again. Sorry for the noise. And I can move the paint around a little bit with the dryer as well. I'm just going to move it around with my finger as well, because it kind of tends to want to sit here in certain spots where the paper buckled. Okay, this is taking longer than I thought. I'll come back. Okay, so it is dry, more or less. So now I'm gonna glue these on to my page. Let's just see where I want it. I think I kind of want it just need to extend this a little bit with the leaves. Okay, I think I want it there, and then the bird here, and this here, and yeah. So let's do the rose first, and because there's a lot of little intricate parts, I'm going to use the art glitter glue, and because of the fine tip you can get into all those little pieces. Okay. Oh, small pieces are really hard to glue because they have a mind of their own. Okay. I don't know from which kit this comes, but I think it was Calico Design. If anybody, anybody of you know, because this was in my scrapbook box, I don't have an idea of where it came from. Okay, so I just tore that one off too. We'll have to puzzle it together again because it's so small and intricate and wet with the glue now. It tears easily, but I think that's good, and I'll just add this little bud in here that I tore off. Okay, and then the leaves. Oops. Oh my goodness, this is very wet. Let's just put the leaf so it covers that. Maybe we should bring that. No, the art glitter glue glues very fast. There's no time for repositioning. Okay, it just stays like that. Okay, and then the little birdie. Let's do the big part, the easy part first. My fingers are covered in glue and gesso at this point. This is a messy situation, but it's fun. Okay, and then we'll just, I think I kind of want him up there. Oh, don't want to tear it. There, and where's my wet wipe so I can get rid of some of the ink, because the small pieces. Oh. And then this one is easy to glue down, luckily. It's a big piece. This one comes from that Amity Bloom paper. I just cut a piece of it out. And that goes in there. Okay, let me just clean my fingers a bit. And then I still have this little bud. Where will I put this one? Maybe in here. Yeah, let's do that. Can't waste it. It was just a piece that was on the paper, but I've already torn other pieces off from it, so we'll just put it in there. And then I thought, well, the next thing I want to do, oh, making a mess, is maybe go in. Ay. Sorry, I keep hitting the camera. I don't know why today. I will use maybe the charcoal watercolor and just give this birdie a bit of a shadow on this side. And okay, my desk is a total mess at the moment. Where is there? And then I'll just go in with a watercolor pencil and just soften that line a little bit. And you know, then you can decide if you need more or not. Okay. Just to give him a little bit more presence. I should actually have like a charcoal pencil and not just this watercolor pencil, but I don't have one. I should go buy one. It looks like the white kind of got there. Okay, this is my first art journaling page on film, and I won't say it's a total success, but we learn something new every day. And that's part of the process, I suppose. And maybe I'll do just a little bit around the rose as well, just here and there. It's hard on the texture paste to do this. And see if it can just stand out a little bit more from the background with this kind of shadow. I don't know if the camera picks it up, because it's not very dark. I don't want it too dark. I just want it just a hint of a shadow here and there. Okay. Okay, and then I need a saying. So it says, little by little one travels far. I like that. We are all made of stardust. It is okay to feel the feels. Purple feels passion. Good things take time. Let's do this. I like the little by little we travel far thing. Saying. And I don't think this is... What did I print this on? Sticker paper or not? Yes, it is sticker paper. So I will just add some glue stick as well, because I don't know how old. I bought this sticker paper from the thrift store, so I don't know how old this is already. So we'll just make sure it sticks. And then I want to add, last thing, add some, just a little bit of splatters, but I don't necessarily want it on my saying. I'm gonna cover that. And the little birdie, most of him, especially his face. I think that's good. So I will do, let's add some water to the gesso, some white splatters. Maybe a little bit more. The gesso is really thick. Oh, it's a little bigger than I wanted it to be. That's the thing with the splatters, you never know where it's going. Just a little in here. And these will take quite some time to dry, of course. Then I think I want to do some gold splatters as well. Just add a bit more water and just on my table and my... Okay, lots of cleanup after this. Should have put up a piece of paper on my desk. That would have been a sensible thing to do. Okay, maybe just some gold in that corner, but that's where it makes a big fat mess. Okay, thank you. I think this is done. Thank you for joining me today and putting up with my mess and my trials and tribulations. I have to clean my inks and my dryer, my heat tool now, because it is covered in gold paint. Thank you, and I hope you enjoyed the process with me, and I will see you next time. Bye.